In this lecture we are going to see mathematical representation of the phasor. Okay, till now we have studied what is the phasor. And we have seen the graphical representation of phasor, or the how to draw the phasor diagram. So let us understand what is phasor, or let us recap it. What is the phasor? Phasor is the straight line and one arrow indicated at the one side. Okay, and that indicates arrow indicates the direction of the rotation of phasor, which is the anticlockwise direction, and length of phasor equal to the peak value of sinusoidal quantity. So one phasor is shown in the diagram. Okay, so there are two axes, x and y axis, and in between there is one phasor is drawn, and that length of phasor is r. Okay, and that bold line is nothing but the phasor. So what is phasor? Phasor is a straight line. One arrow indicated at one side indicates the direction of rotation, which is the anticlockwise direction, and length of the phasor is equal to the peak value of sinusoidal quantity. So on the top of that phasor there is the notation which is the Vm. So Vm is nothing but the peak value of, or peak voltage of the sinusoidal quantity. So we are going to see the mathematical representation of phasor. So mathematically we can represent that phasor by using two ways. One is the rectangular form and second one is the polar form. Okay, so in a rectangular form phasor can be represented as the mathematical equation V of t is equal to x plus jy. Okay, and we have to determine what is x and what is y. And in polar form V of t is equal to r and at the angle of theta, and we have to determine what is the value of r and what is the value of theta. So let us understand rectangular form of polar phasor representation. Okay, so what is the equation for the phasor representation in a rectangular form, which is V of t is equal to x plus jy, which is the standard equation. Okay, in a rectangular form, what is the standard equation in a rectangular form? V of t is equal to x plus jy. Okay, and we have to determine the what is the value of x and what is the value of y. So you can see in the diagram, okay, one phasor is drawn in between x and y axis. The length of that phasor is r. Okay, and it is the peak value of sinusoidal quantity, which is represented Vm. Okay, there is Vm notation on the top of phasor, and that phasor makes the inclination angle of the theta with respect to the reference axis. Okay, so we have that phasor makes an angle with makes an angle of theta with respect to the reference axis. Okay, and if you make a projection from the top of that phasor on the if you draw the projection from the top of phasor to the on the x-axis, okay, and that length is nothing but the y. And if you make a projection from the that phasor on the y-axis, that length makes gives us the length of x. So x is nothing but the x is what is the value of x? X is the nothing but the distance measured between top of phasor and the y-axis. And what is the y? What is the length of y? It is the distance in between top of the phasor to the x-axis. Okay, so we have just make a projection from top of the phasors towards the x-axis and y-axis, which is represented with the dotted line. Okay, so what will be the value of x? We can determine with the help of cos formula. So what is the cos theta? Okay, with the help of projections. Okay, or if you see in the diagram, it is the right angle triangle. Okay, and it has a three sides. Diagonal is r, one length is x and another length is y. Okay, so it has a three sides. One side is x, one side is y, and one side is r, which diagonal is the r. Okay, so if we use the formula cos of theta, so what is the cos theta? It is the ratio of adjacent side to the diagonal. So what is the adjacent side for the cos theta? Adjacent side is the x, and what is the diagonal? R. So we can write cos of theta as, we can write here cos of theta . is equal to cos of theta is equal to what? Adjacent side. What is the adjacent side for the angle? That angle which is x divided by what is the diagonal, which is the r. Okay, so cos theta is equal to x by r. Then what will be the value of that x? X will be if we take that denominator r and take that r into the left hand side, it becomes multiplier. Here it is the divider, on the left hand side it becomes the multiplier. So what will be the value of x? X is equal to r cos theta. Okay, so x equal to r cos theta. So okay, so we have just taken formula cos of theta, and what is the value of cos of theta? Cos of theta is equal to x by r. So what is the x? X is equal to r cos theta. Okay, and what is r? R nothing but the Vm. So what is the value of x? X is equal to Vm cos of theta. In the same manner, we can apply the formula sin theta. So what is the sin theta? Sin theta is the front side upon, it is the ratio of front side of the angle divided by diagonal. So front side is nothing but the y divided by r is the sin theta, and we have to determine y is equal to Vm sin of theta. So by putting the values x and y, what is the value of x? We can determine value of x by using the cos theta, and value of x is the Vm cos of theta. And what is the value of y? Value of y is the Vm sin of theta. So put that x and y in the first formula, V of t is equal to x plus y. We get the rectangular form of phasor representation, which is the Vm cos of theta plus j Vm sin of theta. So I have explained how to determine the x. So the value of x is determined by the formula cos of theta, which is equal to x by r. And what is the value of x? X is equal to r cos of theta, and r is nothing but the Vm. So value of x is equal to Vm cos of theta. In the same manner, by applying the formula of sin theta, we get the value of y, which is the Vm sin of theta. By putting those two values x and y in the given formula, we get the mathematical equation for the rectangular form, which is equal to Vm cos of theta plus j Vm sin of theta. So what is the polar form? In the polar form, phasor representation, mathematical equation for the phasor representation is V of t is equal to r at the angle of theta. So what is r? R is the diagonal of that right angle triangle. That right angle triangle has three sides. One side is x, another side is y, and one side is r. Okay, it is the right angle triangle. So by applying Pythagoras theorem, so what is Pythagoras theorem? Diagonal square is equal to the sum of two side squares. Okay, so by applying Pythagoras theorem on this right angle triangle, we get r is equal to under root of x square plus y square. And what is the theta? So if you take tan theta, value of tan theta is equal to y by x. And what is the value of theta then? Theta is equal to tan inverse of y by x. So by putting these two values r and theta in the given equation, we get the polar form for the phasor representation. Okay, so these are the two different equations for the phasor representation. One is the rectangular form. What is the equation for the rectangular form? V of t is equal to Vm cos of theta plus j Vm sin of theta. And what is the polar form of equation? V of t is equal to r at the angle of theta. And what is the value of r? R is equal to under root of x square plus y square, which is determined with the help of right angle triangle. Okay, and what is the value of theta? We first can write tan theta is equal to y by x, and then theta is equal to tan inverse of y by x. By putting this value in the equation, we get the polar form representation of the phasor waveform phasor. Okay, so we have understood what is rectangular form representation and what is polar form representation. Okay, next we are going to see is the inductive reactance, XL. Notation of inductive reactance is XL. So let us see what is that inductive reactance. Inductive reactance is the opposition offered by inductor to flow of an alternating current. Okay, if we apply alternating voltage across the inductor, that inductor has some property that inductor opposes to flow of alternating current through it. So whatever that opposition offered is called as the inductive reactance. So what is inductive reactance? Inductive reactance is the opposition offered by inductor to flow of alternating current. Okay, what amount of opposition that offered by inductor to flow of alternating current is called as the inductive reactance, and value of that inductive reactance XL is equal to 2 pi FL. So here 2 pi and L, these are the constants. So that inductive reactance is directly proportional to the frequency of the sinusoidal quantity. Okay, so XL is directly proportional to the F. As F goes on increase, value of XL goes on increase. So that inductor opposes for the high frequency sinusoidal quantities. As frequency goes on increase, the opposition offered by inductors also goes on increase. We can understand that concept with the help of that equation. XL is equal to 2 pi FL. XL is directly proportional to F. F increases, XL increases. The unit of inductive reactance is ohm. As frequency increases, value of XL also increases, as there is a linear proportion between XL and frequency. Let us see what is capacitive reactance. The notation for capacitive reactance is Xc. So the capacitive reactance is the opposition offered by capacitor to flow of alternating current. Also same as inductor, capacitor can also offer some opposition to flow of alternating current. So the amount of opposition offered by that capacitor to flow of alternating current is called as the capacitive reactance. Okay, and the value of capacitive reactance Xc is equal to 1 upon 2 pi Fc. So we can see that in the equation that that Xc is inversely proportional to the F, because F is in the denominator. As F goes on increase, the ratio of 1 by F goes on decrease, so that the value of Xc goes on decrease. So due to the inverse proportion or inverse relation between Xc and F, as F goes on increase, Xc goes on decrease, and as F goes on decrease, Xc goes on increase. Okay, so that value of Xc goes on increase with decrease in frequency, and value of that Xc goes on decrease with increase in frequency. The unit of capacitive reactance is ohm. As frequency increases, value of Xc decrease, as there is inverse proportion between Xc and frequency. So in short, what is the inductive reactance and capacitive reactance? Inductive reactance is the opposition offered by inductor, and capacitive reactance is the opposition offered by capacitor to flow of alternating current. Okay, so with this we are going to stop here.